Welcome back to NBA Cinema. I kind of want to get right into this video. I'm going to react at the end, but D Wade has responded to Paul Pierce and Gilbert Arenas saying that Pat Riley is going to scare future players away from the Miami Heat culture. And, this ongoing thing with Jimmy Butler, I just did a video about the Heat not paying Jimmy on time, trying to upgrade his fine. A lot is going on within the Heat organization right now. But we're going to get right into this, man. I'm going to react to the end. Let's peek.
We are Showtime. You're nobody. He was right.
Yeah.
He moved to the Knicks. He ain't doing nothing. He moved to Miami, right? He got Shaq. He got Dwyane Wade. He came and got Shaquille O'Neal. Then they brung a whole bunch of other players to help win. You can't pretend you that guy. It's them.
Listen.
You're not bigger than them.
Yeah.
You're pretending you are.
Did you see the interview?
They left. LeBron came. They won a championship. You can't pretend you're bigger than LeBron. LeBron leaves, this shit crashes. Jimmy Butler comes, he gets you to the championship. If he tells you, bring me one more star, motherfucker, bring him one more star.
Yeah.
Because if he can get you to the championship with this, bring me one more star, I got you. So for you to pretend that you are the Heat culture and you can do this, you're lying.
Yeah.
Because when he leaves, motherfucker, nobody's coming there.
I got these.
Nobody's coming to. You got South Beach in your favor.
Yes.
And you treat South Beach like it's a fucking prison.
I think Heat culture lives, Pat Riley brought Heat culture. And what I want to say about that, I think he's slowly destroying Heat culture. And what I mean by that, this new generation is different now, guys. And Jimmy Butler's at the end of the new generation, but coming up, when you look at when Heat culture started, when Shaq and Lonzo and Haslam and Wade and all got there, look what he's done to his star players since Heat culture started. He ran Shaq out of town. You ran LeBron out of town. You ran D Wade out of town, of all people. One who drafted, you won your first championship with. Then you kind of try to make up for it. Now you running Jimmy Butler out of town. This, to me, tells me that Heat culture lives and dies with Pat Riley. And if he doesn't change the way he is, being, kind of like stubborn and don't want to pay guys and it's his way or the highway, then I don't see Heat culture being the same any longer.
I don't like nasty breakups. And I think what people need to understand is these relationships are relationships.
Yeah.
And just like the relationships that we in, the communication in these relationships suck. And that's the one thing about the league that really, that I didn't like and I don't like is that we don't communicate very well. So in this space with the Heat, man, I don't know what's going to happen and I don't have no comment on the trade, but I know what Jimmy Butler has done for the Miami Heat. And it shouldn't have to be as ugly as it is right now. And I don't like this stain on our organization. I don't like the fact that people feel that they can comment and talk about like that whole notion that people saying that because of the Jimmy Butler situation and how Pat Riley has handled things, that guys are not going to come to Miami. Y'all can quit that shit right now. It ain't going to be a day that a basketball player ain't going to make $300 million to play in Miami. It will not be a day that you ain't gonna raise your hand and go make $300 million to be the star in Miami. So let's quit that narrative. Let's quit that narrative right now. Sign me up. I go deal with some structure for 4.
Facts.
So that narrative right there for people from the outside, because of what they're seeing of how it's being handled, that's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that people feel that they can't talk about what's in house, how we do things. You know what I'm saying? And so. But I do say, to give Jimmy credit, man, Jimmy came in when they was losing the face of their franchise and became the face of the franchise. That's hard to do. He became the person that those kids wanted to buy his jersey, wear his jersey. You know what I'm saying? And so the relationship the Heat was a soft landing spot for Jimmy, and Jimmy was exactly the star that the Heat needed for 6 years, finals, big moments that they've had together. It should not end
ugly.
It's ended tragically.
Right.
This is tragic. This is a tragic way to end a relationship. And so as a former player, it's ugly on our franchise. It's a stain on our franchise that we continue to have the way that the relationships break up. But also too, on the other side, you don't run that organization as a player. So you get to that space sometime where you want to do things your way. It's Pat Riley way.
Facts.
And let's talk about Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce said he's better than Dwyane Wade. I'm going to stop right there. Okay? I'm going to stop right there. All right? You out your mind. You've been smoking too much. Tell you the truth. All right. You're not betting Dwyane Wade. Okay. You've been hating on the Miami Heat since Ray Allen left Boston to go to Miami Heat. All right. That's why he's not on Pat Riley's side or the Miami Heat side. He's been hating on the Miami Heat and Pat Riley since day one, since they've been getting beat by the Miami Heat. So that he got personal vendetta against them. He's not really speaking realistically.
So this is an intriguing conversation as it pertains to Miami and the future of the franchise. Looking past Jimmy Butler and who will be that next face. Now, some would say it's Bam, but I don't think it's Bam. I'm talking about that next guy who can take you deep into a postseason run, be your go-to guy. Who would that be? Would they draft that player, or would that player have to come out of free agency? Are they seeing how Pat Riley is doing with Jimmy? But not only Jimmy, I mean, D Wade, it didn't end the way it should have ended there in the beginning, right? It eventually did, but he should have never been a Cleveland Cavalier. D Wade should have played his days out there, but D Wade had become injury prone. And one thing about injury prone players, especially if it happens in their early mid 30s, they still think they're worth the money. I think we're seeing that with Jimmy. It wasn't a problem with a player like Udonis Haslam and those guys. They were able to get their money and stay with the team as long as they wanted to. It's just about using your resources and not being able to build the right team around the organization to go forward with Jimmy aging. And I think that's what they're going through right now. But it is a thing where players would be like, oh, well, if that's going to happen, I'm not coming in my 20s either. While it's all good, I'm not helping them do all that, but then I get injured. Because these players really feel like they need another max contract in their mid 30s nowadays. So that's going to be an obstacle. I think it does exist somewhat. I think Paul Pierce probably has said things hating in the past, saying he was a better player than D Wade. Things he said about the Miami Heat organization in the past may have come from a disingenuous place, but I think this one right here, I think he thought out what he was saying and really meant what he was saying. I don't think he was 1,000%, hating on this. I think that is a thing. Heat culture. We see the game pass people by all the time. And can Pat Riley maintain the great things about himself, but also appeal to the new generation going forward? Because Jimmy is a bit old school. And remember, D Wade and Jimmy are Miami Heat brothers, but also, even though they didn't play together at Marquette, they have the Marquette thing too that ties them in together. So it's like a little bro to him. Um, I just, I think what Gilbert Arenas said is true. It may be one of those things where free agents look at Miami and be like, nah, we ain't gonna go through all that. And maybe it's soft. Some people say it's soft. Some people will say this and that. But the one thing that holds true is it may become just a fact. That they don't choose Miami for whatever reason we may say it is. Um, it may look less and less desirable to go spend a great bulk of your career in South Beach in the future. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.